Well, good afternoon and happy Halloween. So, welcome everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. It's great to be here on Halloween, October 31st. I got a little cut up this morning, so hopefully you'll bear with me and see. So, I think I do this every year, but it's always a fun thing to do and have fun with the green screen. So, um, I am Todd Rains, and I am in Allen, Texas, where we live. My wife and I run Woodturning Tool Store, and I do these sort of things every couple of Fridays. So um, this one being kind of special with Halloween, so it's kind of fun. So let me show you what we're doing and what we're going to get right into it here. If I can find which button I want to push. So this is just green tape on top. I mean, that's why you can see through it. It's kind of fun. Since it's Halloween and kind of carrying on from last week, we laid out and I talked about those marking discs that we've started selling and printing 3D printed marking discs, and they're for laying out different geometric patterns, basically. In the picture there, you see 5-sided disc. So I took the 5-segment marking disc and laid out the 5 sides, joined those points to make a pentagon, and that's what we have here in the overhead. And so I took that piece of wood and I cut out the sides, and we got a nice sort of pentagon shape. That's what we're going to turn today. And so you could do 4-sided, obviously, square. You could do 3-sided if you wanted, 4, 5, 6-sided, 7-sided, 8-sided, 9-sided, with the 5 discs we include in this little 5-disc pack. So anyway, handy little things to do this kind of thing. If you're not doing a many-sided box, you can use it to twist your box end. If you want to put a twist on your box and stuff, I got my hands right through my chest there. I'm operating on myself. Yeah. I don't know. It's Halloween, so I'm having too much fun. So I cut it out in the bandsaw outside the lines. You can see a bit of the black mark around the outside of the lines there. Put center marks on it, of course, and drew those 5. And I just used my sanding disc here to sand them up. So I've got let's see, this one kind of shows, let's see if that one not so much. This one, I've got this platform on tool post in my banjo. So again, this is a 3D printed platform, and I've got it set just almost to center height, a little bit, so the piece is kind of right at center. And we can go ahead and turn the dust collection on, and the sanding disc, and change that. And I just sanded these pieces. It's already done, so I'm just kind of showing you what I went through to get the pieces sanded. And it was simple as that to have my 5 sides done. So no need to go through that. I prepped that earlier, so there we go. So now we've got that 5 sides defined. we've got the points. These 4 lines were where the corners of the square block were. So that's why they're kind of all over the place. But that layout was done with the 5-sided disc. So what we need to do now is put this between centers and get it ready to turn. So let's do that. I'll pull this out. There's the profile of the platform and stuff. We'll use this again here at the end. So stick around. I've got another attachment that we're going to use to do a little bit of web design. So I spent a few minutes in CAD yesterday and printed out a little helpful tool to do that part of it. So let me get this changed over and set up, and then we'll take a look at who's here, who's who in the zoo, so to speak. Pardon my reach as I put that out of the way. I've got a live center in that tailstock. Drive center will go in here, and this will be very similar to how I do my small plates demo, for those that have kind of seen that or know that demo. But we'll go through the same sort of setup. We're putting between centers. We'll create a recess for a chuck. Turn that in the, move that around in the chuck. Do the same thing. Put another recess that's actually going to be the final foot, and go from there. So the important thing is to keep these points nice and crisp. We'll do some sanding afterwards to maybe fix up any chip out, but we'll try and maintain as much as we can. So let's stop for a quick second. I'm gonna grab the whole thing here, put it up here just so I can. That smack was the sound of magnets. Magnets are your friend. And especially the shop. So let's see. I just want to say hello to a few people. We saw a few, Glenn and David and Larry. Thank you for joining early. Paul, let me get the thing. There we go. Across the pond. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Kenneth, good to have you here. Bo, good to have you here. I don't know if this is the first time, but welcome. Lowell, beautiful day in the neighborhood. Thank you, Mr. Wolf. Let's see. Gerald, Ian from across the pond. Good to see you again, Ian. Thanks for joining. And Jason, good afternoon. Sunset, Louisiana. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining. John, our friend Cindy from Colorado. Thanks for joining. Another across the pond. Philip, good to have you here. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Patty, nice to have you here. A lot of these names I recognize from past events, past live streams, but also as customers. So I appreciate all that. Thanks very much. Paul, thank you very much. Let's see. Jim Bowman. Oh, good to see you here, Jim. Thank you for joining. And Ward. Boy, there's lots here. Don't know if I'll get through it. Matthew. My wife, Shelly, is on. Hi, Shelly. So good to have you here. She's just in the other room. So Richard, good to have you here. So Temple, I don't how far am I? Let's see. He's a little cut up. I don't know what that's referring to, me or somebody else. Dick, local to you. Good to have you here from Plano. So Ken, Jim. Let me just scroll down a little bit, see how long this list is. It's fairly long. So thank you all so much for joining on Halloween. So we have one child, and she's 34 now, and so we're kind of Halloweened out. Don't know that we're going to be giving out candy tonight, but there's plenty of neighbors in the neighborhood, so we have maybe some other things to do tonight. I'm not quite sure. Gordon, good to have you here. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Glad you could make it. And Connie from down in New Zealand, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Hope your day is going well. Morning, early. Let's see. I'm just Lee Beatles. I haven't seen you for a while. Good to have you here. I think you were here last time, maybe, but took the summer off. So, Rodney, thanks for joining. First time here. Well, welcome so much. Appreciate you coming. So this is kind of a fun thing we do every 2 weeks, every Friday afternoon at 1. It used to be at 2:30, but I changed it to 1. It kind of lines up with our friend Cindy Drozda. She does one every opposite Friday. So every Friday at 1, you can either see myself or Cindy on StreamYard, on YouTube, YouTube channels, and Facebooks. So let me stop there for a second and just see. First of all, with all that introduction, let me just do a bit of housekeeping, so to speak, if you will. See, look at that. You can see through me. I get a kick out of that for some reason. This is how to get a hold of me. Todd Rains at Woodturning Tool Store. Phone number, email, website. Check it out. The QR code over there is for the newsletter. Join the newsletter. It keeps you up to date on these things, specials, and stuff like that. Oh, speaking of specials, before I go too far, let me just do this quickly. While we're here, happy Halloween. And this says 10% off with orders over $50. So it's a coupon, booyah, but it's automatically applied to the cart. So you really don't have to do anything. Just don't miss the spectacular deals, spooktacular deals. So go to the website, order some stuff. You'll save 10% before tax and shipping. So make sure that your cart total is totaled up to over $50 or more. And you'll get that 10% automatically applied. So lots of people have taken advantage of it so far. So please have fun and do that. And let me just see if, there it is. There's a little graphic I did. I was kind of having too much fun with Affinity Photo or Designer. So, oops, I went and double clicked. Didn't mean to do that. Back to special deals. It doesn't really do anything. It just tells you about it there. But there, save 10% on orders 50 or more. This will expire on Sunday at midnight. So this Sunday, deals are over. So yeah, celebrate Halloween. Let me get back to, as Ed Sullivan would say, back to the show. All right, so I don't know. I'm too young for Ed Sullivan, but I did watch a little bit of the repeats. Anyway, let's see. Next up, oh, not that one. Wrong button. There we go. Cindy. Cindy is actually here, so let's bring her on. Cindy, if you're ready. I see you down there in the corner. There you are. Happy Halloween. Look at you, all dressed up.
Say happy Halloween, everyone.
There you go. So, Cindy, you do your live stream every other Friday to mine. And so that means next Friday, you're doing something.
Next Friday. I think it's the 7th.
Right. Yep. Sounds about right, because 31st today. Yeah, so that's good. And this QR code is for Cindy's newsletter. So if you want to snap that one, go ahead. And what can you tell us about next Friday, if anything?
Oh, well, I have something kind of fun and frivolous planned for next Friday. You know, I just did the beaded ginger jar.
Yes.
And somebody made a comment about beaded ginger, and I thought, ginger beads. So I love trying to turn weird things, and I'm going to get some ginger roots and try to make beads out of them. Maybe some natural edge.
Yeah, sounds like fun. Yeah, I mean, ginger's got a pretty good, I mean, it's harder than a carrot, right? I would think.
Yeah, carrots work too, though. So yeah, but if it's harder than a carrot, it ought to work.
It should work. Yeah, best way to keep your ginger is in the freezer. So.
Oh, in the freezer, really? Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, freeze our ginger roots, and we just grate it, skin and all. Don't worry about skinning it. Don't need to.
Oh, you grate it and then put it in the freezer. Okay.
No. We keep it solid, but grate it when it's frozen. And basically don't bother skinning the ginger. Just it'll set off.
So. Well, that'll save me some time.
Yeah, there you go.
I usually skin it, which takes a bunch of time.
Yeah, there you go. Don't need to do that. And yeah, so it sounds like.
So we'll find out how nicely it turns, and the shop will smell great.
Yeah,
and I'll have to save the chips for the dinner.
There you go. Yeah. Put a nice little towel or something on your bedways to catch it all.
Right.
Or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, good stuff. And so sorry I wasn't there for Cindy's beaded ginger jar demo on Saturday. I was out of town having fun with the family. We got to see some sights, so it was a good time.
Yeah, we made it through, but everybody really missed you a lot.
Okay. Well, good. I appreciate that.
Mm.
So, and as you're here, let's talk about vendor showcase, and that's the
Yay, vendor
weekend after
showcase.
next, right? So, well,
Oh, is it
Saturday,
that soon?
Saturday, 2 weeks and a day, I think. Yeah.
Mm.
So, if those that don't know, vendor showcase is 6 vendors, 5 of us really now. Myself, Cindy Drozda, Steve Worcester from turningwood.com, Lyle Jameson from Lyle Jameson Woodturning, and then Joe Fleming from airbrushingwood.com. John Jordan used to be part of the group, but sadly his passing has, we're up on Vicky as much as we can, keeping his name on there. So, but this is the 6 of us getting together for a Zoom. Actually, we're going to do it on StreamYard. I keep saying Zoom.
StreamYard.
It's a StreamYard event. The links to it are and registration are in the newsletters of either one of us, so check that out. 4 hours of kind of entertainment, mini demos, weekend specials, and tool showcases talking about tools, but all your questions and answers, as well as an auction for charity. So
Yeah.
I think in the last couple of times you've seen parts of what I've created with Joe as a collaborative. So hopefully you catch it. I'll maybe post it on Instagram here in the next little bit and to show that off. And we'll see what Joe's done to it. So
Instagram.
lots of fun.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
I'll bring that Emma, Todd, Cindy collaboration if you want to check back in with me later in the show today.
Sounds good. Okay. And take a snap of it and post it on Instagram or something. If you do that, or Facebook and all that
That'll
stuff.
be fun.
So get people ready to go for vendor showcase November 15th. Good stuff. And then I think we are planning a sharing session sometime maybe in December. I don't think
sometime in December, and we haven't decided, but there's only like what
2 weekends,
3 or something choices here.
Yeah, so we'll try and get that scheduled, but that should be coming up, and that is a lot of fun seeing what you guys do and stuff. So, all right, Cindy, anything else we can? Have you got anything else planned in the future?
Well, I've got a demo coming up. Nobody knows when, and I'm going to put the link to register for vendor showcase in the comments now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
I put newsletters for Todd and me. So if you want to sign up and get the direct link to our sharing sessions or our live streams, that's the place to go. And register for vendor showcase coming up soon.
Yeah, and if you got questions about any of that or what we're doing today, drop them in the comments and chat. Thanks, Cindy, for joining. Appreciate it. And let's get back to what we were doing here, which is turning this thing. So sorry about the diversion, but I wanted to get that checked out and done. Let me get my safety glasses on. We're just going to flatten this out, put a recess on it, and go to town on this thing. So a 5/8 bowl gouge. Let me get this guy out of the way now. Just to straighten out this turning. It's fairly well centered. It's turning relatively true. So make sure that's tightened up. Spin that up. So we'll just flatten this face. I'm careful on the tips of this guy. Just to kind of smooth that out. Let's see what that looks like. Looks decent. This is a piece of hard maple, by the way. I have a need to make a recess that is, I've got my little radius gauge here. It's got a little handy sort of ruler on it, going from outside to outside here. And I am at 60, maybe just slightly under 60 millimeters. If you can tell that. There we go. And that's in diameter, right? So this is a radius gauge, so that means 30 millimeters for a radius. So let me, that's going to hook on there, and we're going to turn this guy on. He's just going to ride there. We're going to go 25. We're going to go into a 30 millimeter mark, and we're right there. So let me put that up. So that's the mark I made. Let me, this one might be better. So that's as easy as that. So this little hooky guy fits over a 3/4 inch recess like that. And then that gives us our recess that we're going to cut out. So how are we going to cut that recess? We're going to cut it with our Mike Peace inspired recess cutter. So Mike Peace came out with this sort of device a while ago. And the important thing to look at here is this angle. Let me zoom that in a little bit. Get some light on it. This angle between here and this edge is less than 90. So that's where I'm going to get my dovetail. So it's not quite as steep as maybe I'd want it, but we'll make it work and stuff like that. But I just need to basically cut that back a little bit more of an angle. And there you go. So this mark down here is kind of the way you cut it out. It's hard to get this acute angle in here. So I tend to take that one back and leave this right angles. Just easier to sharpen that way. So this is going to cut our recess. And we'll zoom that in a little bit and get that pointed down. There we go. So we're going to raise this up a little bit because I am scraping now, single bevel scraper. So angle down, handle up. Pulling it towards me to get that undercut up to that 60 millimeter mark. Let's see how that fits. This is going to be the top of the dish, by the way, so that fits in there just fine. So we'll go ahead and mount the chuck and repeat that process. On the other side. So as quick as that, I've got, when I originally thought about doing this one, I just wanted to kind of use those marking discs and kind of show their use. But then I realized it's coming up to Halloween, so why not make a spider web? I don't know how many spider webs only have 5. I think it all depends on the environment the spider is in. You know, how many edges they put on their web, but I think either way it kind of works. So we'll go into expansion mode on this guy, and there we go. Got a nice fit. That worked pretty well. So that 60 millimeter mark on my radius gauge was perfect for what I wanted to do. So now we're going to create the foot. We're going to do the same thing on this end. Make that recess cutter. I need, it's kind of unusual, I don't really need the tailstock other than marking my 30 millimeter or 60 millimeter diameter, 30 millimeter radius. Let's turn that on. The threads, it's forcing it to the front there, so that's fine. And let me get this view on it. So here's the 25 millimeter mark. Realize you can't really see that. I'll go to the 30 and mark that. So that looked just like, oops, get my pencil in the wings of that pentagon thing. There's 60 millimeter diameter. So now, before I move my tool rest past those points and destroy my points, move that in place. Clear the tool rest. Get our recess cutter. And I'll move the tailstock out in a minute. Nice to have it up here, just extra insurance. I'm only going about 1/8 of an inch deep. That's all I really need. And then we should be good. I'm just going to test it. So let's go ahead and test this recess. Let me go back this way a little bit. Make sure I've got the right dimension. Just looks good. All right, so let's turn it back. We'll finish that foot off, and then we'll turn our inside. So, all right, so let's push that back out of the way. Don't need the tailstock anymore. I'm going to get rid of the live center so I don't create any gore or blood on Halloween with my elbow. And we don't have a whole lot of room outside that recess. I probably should have gone for a smaller recess here on this thing. I didn't think about it, but next one I do this size, we'll have a much smaller recess. So we'll have a little bit of a shallow bowl here with a foot, and so we get a lot of room to take away here. Let's start with a bowl gouge. I've got plenty of edge on it, so we'll cut away that way. Drop the tool rest, 1/2 inch tool. I'm clearing. All right. I'm turning about 2,000, maybe, no, 18. That's probably about 2,000. That's enough for me at this point for this little thing. I'm just making a shallow dish. With a slight curve to it. We'll leave a little bit of a foot there. I'll stop here in a second. We'll see what kind of impact we're having on those points of the 5 sides. And yeah, not too bad. They don't look torn out because I'm going out that way on them, so they're looking good. Surface is a bit bouncy. We'll clean that up. We've got a little bit of a foot. I'll flare it up a bit more to use a bit more of a bowl or get more of a usable bowl. It's not going to be much of a bowl with these points and the low points down here, but it might be nice to hold some, I don't know, some candies. Let me see if there's any questions. Let's see. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. So good to have people here. Paul from Houston, thank you for joining. And there's the registration links that Cindy posted for Vendor Showcase. Check that out. Let's see. Ian, Todd, who makes the recess cutter you just used? That's a homemade tool. Nobody really commercialized it, but Mike Peace out of Atlanta area I think he got the idea from somebody. I don't know if it was Mark Chalet or somebody else. I can't remember, but he made a good YouTube video on it. And basically, it's a 3/4 inch wide or 19 millimeter scraper that's about 1/4 inch thick. And this pattern is where you cut out all of that stuff and get this sort of dovetail shape in here. And create your own. So it's very handy when you're between centers, especially. So that's the key. So yeah, make your own, and I find it very useful. So I'm quite happy with it. So I've got some frayed edges in here. I'll clean up in a minute. Maybe I'll do that now before I carry on with wasting too much wood on the outside. Just getting another handle on a little 3/8 spindle gouge. So a little robust 3/8 spindle gouge. I'm going to finish up the center here. And we'll get that cleaned up. Oh, let me get rid of that comment. Let's see. Jim asked, why not turn the bowl and then cut the 5 sides on the bandsaw? Yeah, absolutely. You could do that too. The tricky part is marking out those 5 sides on a bowl that's hollowed out. So you could do either way. With a shallow platter like this, I think it'd be easy enough to mark out. But yeah, that's another option. Absolutely. Not a problem doing it that way. There's Cindy posted Mike Peace's video on the recess cutter. So thanks, Cindy, for doing that. That's a good video to watch to get an understanding of why and what he's done there. So let me change these around. Sorry, there we go. All right, just getting rid of this middle. And a little cleanup on the foot. While I'm there, little 3-point tool to create a little design. Just using a scraper right on that little point there, and maybe on that edge there. So that's pretty clean for a bottom. Needs some sanding, but otherwise it's nicely cut. So now we'll finish out this outside. I'm going to use the edge of my bowl gouge to finish off this outside, then we'll clean it up. I noticed when we go around, my foot is not concentric. That's very strange. I don't know why. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't face off this side. So if I'd faced this side off and then put the recess in there, it might be concentric to this face, because I don't think they're quite concentric, because I look here, I've got a narrow rim here and a wider rim here, there. So if you can see that there. When I turn it on, it looks like it's wobbling, but I think that's what's going on, but not 100% sure. I got ribbons of wood in my guts, in my lungs. I don't know. My wife is laughing at me, I know. Okay, I'm out to the depth I want to be. I just need a bit more shape on this thing. That's a bit better. Let's go ahead and put a handle on this guy. Wrong. I have setting up my half round bar and teardrop scraper to do a little scraping work. So I've got some tool marks right in here and try and get rid of, and raise the tool rest, and we'll scrape down here and out to the side. So handle up higher. That feels nice. That feels nice. Yeah, just a gentle curve. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and switch that around and do the inside. I got to be careful not to crank too hard down on the expansion because I am on a fairly thin interface back there. So something to be aware of when you're expanding into a recess is make sure you got enough wall thickness on your recess to accommodate the expansion. So there we go. And let me just check. I don't see anything new, but Mary Alice is here. Thanks for joining, Mary Alice. Good to have you here. We'll talk about your tardiness later. Just kidding. Let me zoom this one in a little bit. I don't know if that's adding a whole lot. Let's go ahead and change that one. And this one, go over just a little bit. All right. So we're just hollowing a bowl now. Let me get my elbow restrictions out of the way. Okay, now comes the fun part of seeing the ghost. And this might help with actually overhead there. But let me, since you're having a hard time seeing it, I'm having a hard time seeing it. Let's see if we can't fix that. Add some contrast in there. I wonder if white might be better in this case. So all right. So you can see in the overhead our shadow line a little bit better. What we're looking for to try and hit. I can see it a bit better from overhead here. So I'm just going to drag my bevel back, my heel of my bevel. Let's see where we're at. We got to go deeper sooner. Yeah, quite a bit sooner. So, all right. See how that's doing on the edge? Just about. We're not quite deep enough, and we're not quite angled quite right. We can tell on these edges here. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Wrong way. It's hard to see, the contrast isn't there on that one, but we got to cut a bit deeper here. So, and that maybe should do it. So we've got a nice thin profile all the way along. So I've got my edge established or my depth of cut. So good. So let's carry on. All right, let's take some more out of the middle. You notice I was hogging away fairly aggressively in the middle there. And then I slowed down that last cut to get a smoother cut. If I slow down the feed rate, I'm able to kind of match the rotational speed to get a good clean cut. And that's about it. So if you're going slow, you got to cut slow. If you're going fast, you can cut a little bit faster. You got to match that sort of speed to kind of get a nice consistent sort of cut. Let's see how we're doing. Pretty good. I got a lump right down there, but otherwise up to that point I'm good. So I think I will just cut that lump a little bit. You can see its shadow line there. That one right there. So I'll put the heel next to just before it and just cut enough to take that away. Now, before we go too far, get this guy out again. We'll do some shear scraping in here. So raise the tool rest and pull the tool rest back a little bit so I have room for the tool to maneuver. And that should be good. Maybe a bit too high. Okay, gentle. A steep angle. I'm shearing quite a bit. A little bit loud in terms of the thinness of this wood, but it's come up nice. I've got some sanding to do right on the tips. That's going to be hand sanded, but I am pretty good. I got a little lump right down near the bottom. but up here, all along here, I'm good. All right, so let's go back in, take more of that middle out, drop it back down, and in, and I'm clear. So an aggressive cut. If we take a look at that, how aggressive that was, we'll probably may see some tear out and stuff. Although this wood is, yeah, there's some tear out right there at the end. So I do a nice smoother cut. We'll get a slower feed rate with my tool. Take less cut at once. We got some heel marks from the tool stuff. We can clean that up, but it's a cleaner cut all around. So got some heel marks in there we got to worry about. So I could relieve this heel a bit more on the tool to kind of compensate for that, but well, there goes another one. God damn it. I don't know what happened to that one. But we're learning lessons here today or this month. Oh, yes, I got a way too thin there, so wrong button. I am just a little bit mad at myself for blowing up another one. It was going to be a nice little thing, but you can see how thin we got there. Right at that joint. So that would blew it up. Wasn't my fault. I mean, it was my fault, but it wasn't my cutting. It was my not measuring correctly. But let's look at the profile. The profile was looking good. So if we get this back into focus down here, we look at the profile along here. It was looking very nice up until this recess. And I just went too deep. Gosh dang it. I'm just mad. I shall have to do another one. So here is, can I salvage this one to show what I was going to do? Maybe. Huh. Frustrating, folks. It was looking so good, as you can see. So, but yeah, that's, need to measure my, yeah, it's a funnel. I don't know if this is a funnel. I don't know, they can't even use this as a funnel. It's, the other pieces are gone. I know it hit this thing. Didn't tear up the paper. Didn't hit me at all. So that's fine. I was over at this side, so I think it's over there. But who else? Let's see. Can you use a negative scraper on this? Well, not now, Todd. But yes, you could. Negative. So I was using a single bevel scraper, but you could certainly use a negative rake scraper like this. So for sure, for smoothing the inside. But I had my handle down, my negative or my single bevel scraper angled, so it was shear cutting. Luck, no injury. No, and that's the thing. If I was sitting here in this angle, I would have had my face shield on. And these are small pieces, usually, that I'm turning. It always happens when you're just about finished. Yeah, I know. That's how I really feel. Yeah, well, I am. Where is it? John, I am mad at myself for not measuring that, but I was doing so good on it. Yeah, exactly, Paul. It's only wood. But here, let me show you what I had spent a little bit of time on CAD with. Let me see if I can find the other piece. It might be easier on that other piece to show. If I can even find it, bear with me a second as I look. I know it. One flew over the cuckoo's nest, but I don't see it. All right. We are going to that we have a whole piece, and we will carry on with the demo, because I wanted to show this one thing, and maybe it's something that Sonny said we can use at another point. So I'm going to bring up my my platform. Let me get back to this shot. Maybe the tail might be better. Tailstock might be better. Widen that out a little bit. So if we had this on there like that, then I have a way to draw circles. I'm not going to be able to hold that, but you kind of get the idea of what I'm going to do with this and this. So we would draw concentric circles. I need to move that back a little bit. I'm trying to hold this and turn it at the same time. Give you an idea. I'm going to do another one just a little bit further in. So we've got concentric circles on the whole thing. And I've got this platform, if you notice, on the overhead. And let me zoom that out a little bit more and move this in a little bit. I need to do some tailstock or banjo maintenance. It's sticking a little bit too much. I've got these mounting holes, and I had them that way to create different sort of attachments. And this one has a bit of an arc on it. So now, to get my sort of web design, I can go from, I wonder if can I do it on here? I'm going to do it, lower the platform a bit to show the bottom here. So between point and point, from this point over to this point, I've now got a sweeping curve. And did I go the wrong way? I went the wrong way with the curve. I meant to go the other. Oh no, maybe it's right. I got to get it centered a bit more. This was so much easier if I had a full piece. So I've got this low part of the curve centered on the chuck, pretty close. And if I had my piece like that, then this arc gives you a bit of a, it's kind of strange if I don't use that thing. What's the difference? There's going to be a difference in height, but this will be, oh, I got to get it. It's following the curve, right? So that is perfectly following the curve. This one won't. It'll follow the other curve. My idea was to kind of get those web points strung out like that, in sort of that sort of web pattern. Then we could draw them out. So that's the kind of idea with a modular platform where you can stick on different accessories. I brought a test piece that is basically just another riser on the platform. Right, so that gets it a bit higher. And maybe there's ones with slots where we can do some grooving, if you will. So it didn't quite work out that I could use this the way I thought. And I have to think more about it. But last night, this is what I came up with in the last little bit. Was just a little bit of an arc there for drawing these curves. So what can we see here on the chat? Let's see. Profile looks good. That's why I don't like recesses. Use a lot of thickness. Yeah, you do. With the recess like this, you're right, Connie. A tenon might have been better with this thin piece of wood, but I've done lots of small plates I think I just got over thin on my whole profile. So, and yeah, so I wonder if the recess pressure on that thin wall there, let me go overhead, on this thin wall might have been some of it as well. But that is, I mean, that should have held otherwise. Good question and good thought about using a tenon. So, yeah, Cindy agrees. At least you don't have to cut. Don't have to cut in half, show a nice profile. Yeah, exactly. And just do it the fast way instead of starting the bandsaw. Just crank on it. So, but it is a good profile. I'll have to do that again. I'll make another one, and we'll maybe see that in a couple of weeks. Maybe that's what I'll. Oh yeah, I was gonna go. I was even looking at the rest of my cut here. I was going to cut right through that. If you look at the depth of this cut, it's below this part. So yeah, no wonder it was going to break. Yeah. Anyway, lots to think about as you're going through this stuff. Hot melt, glue it to the chuck jaw. Yeah, that would be a way to show what I'm trying to do here. I don't have access to that hot melt glue gun right now. But a good thought, Jim, just to kind of get an idea. But I hope you kind of understand what I was trying to do with this guy, and how this works. I'm thinking of other things. Let me know what you think about this platform as well, and whether it's something you might get a use of. I've got to really kind of see if this is a product that I want to productize. It takes a while to print these, but I've got holes here that I can put threaded inserts to put a little thumb screw to tighten it up. But to be honest, they're a pretty good fit. And with these woodcut tool posts, I've actually got a threaded hole at the bottom there that they thread into. So that's just bottomed out completely, and it's pretty stiff. It still swings, but once you thread it into that bottom, it's very tight and stuff. So yeah, that's something to do. What other things can we think about on this guy? So this guy on here was an idea, one on this side, one on this side, for a sliding jig, for maybe maybe these need to be thinner, like this thin, for a if I can get that in there. This one I printed a bit differently than the other one. So if you're into 3D printing, there is a lot you can do on the 3D printer for your shop. So if I had a guide like this on both sides, and I had a platform for holding my router jig or my drill, I've now got a way to kind of have a nice edge guide, that kind of thing. So those kind of ideas are possible. Screwing something from underneath the platform through these holes to hold a larger platform, maybe, all kinds of ideas. So if you got ideas for what you might use this for, shoot me an email, let me know. So which Lego set has platforms like that? Michael, nobody yet. I'm just this is a prototype of a design. I'm sure there's plenty out there in terms of free designs and stuff, but I'm trying to think of other things that would make this a useful platform. Obviously, you saw I used it for the sanding disc, for sanding the edges of this guy. But yeah, all kinds of uses. Be good to know. Let's see. Michael, I see lots of uses for something like that. Okay, well, let me know. Shoot me an email, Michael. I'd happy to hear what you have, and we'll go from there. My blank was about 3/4, maybe 7/8 inch thick, Gerald, and I just took away too much wood. Just can't put it back. So that's the unfortunate part. Cindy says, use the platform with a trim router, maybe with a jig to limit depth of cut. Yeah, there's something to do there for sure. Depth of cut limiter, maybe a stop on one end. So if you've got your jig sitting in here, sliding, maybe this end has a stop on it. Sure, well, we could look at that. the problem with, I have to design several different bases to hold the trim router. Single platform, sliding thing, and then the right sort of gripping collar. So I'm sure that's been done, but maybe it can be done in 3D and 3D printing. Gordon says, might be a handy platform for basket weave lines. Yes, and that was what I was almost kind of doing here with this piece, with this profile here, Gordon. Trying to get that sort of sweeping curve look to the thing. And I think I made my try and pull this out. This one's a bit tight. I made this curve maybe a bit too shallow. This is, I think, a 600 millimeter circle, and maybe cut that down to 400. Might get this more steeper to make these lines. Kind of think about, yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to cut them at the bottom, not the top. Does it matter? Yes, it matters. That's why it was not working. So cut them at the, so there we go. I figured it out, what I was thinking in my head. So if we do it on here the right way that I was thinking of doing it, it would be like this. And then that one. So you kind of get that arcing sort of curve to the lines. So this is too shallow for this size. Might be good for a larger size. Things to think about when you designing and stuff. I didn't model up the bowl in CAD. Dinner calls. Yes, it's over there. It's getting late, I'm sure. Thanks again for joining. Appreciate it. Bo, what happened to this? Next live stream, October 31st, Law 5 dish. Oh, so weren't you here for the blow up? Bo, this was the 5-sided dish, and there's only pieces of it left. And I think that maybe goes there. Maybe goes the other side. Not quite sure. I think it goes this side. But this is what happened to it. So it broke apart. Other pieces are somewhere else. So, you know, it's I had a bowl blow up at SWAT demo on Sunday. I had that little bowl come off. By the way, that bowl is, I think I showed that already. This bowl came off the wooden jaws 3 weeks ago. I don't know when, and fixed that one up. So that's a good looking little bowl right now. So that's the way it goes. Has a screw on base plate. It would be easy to make an angle mount for it. Okay, good to know. I've got a little trend router, so that's what I'm going to be mocking up first with. So yeah, that's it. So what I think we need to do is, I was going to make that. I made it, and it blew up. You'll see another one hopefully maybe next week if I get a chance to get out here and turn one. And Halloween, yeah, I'm see-through ghost right now. The next week is Cindy's live stream. Check that out. And then 2 weeks tomorrow, so on the 15th, is vendor showcase. So that should be a lot of fun. So let's see, let's make sure I got all the questions. I think so. Good. Well, sorry you didn't see the completed thing. I am more frustrated than you are, I'm sure. So let's meet again in a couple of weeks, and we'll see what comes of it. I guess I'm doing one right before vendor showcase, so on the 14th. So everybody have a great weekend. Don't blow things up in your shop, if you can help it. Let me do that for you. It seems to be what I'm good at these days. So, but there's always something to learn when you do. And so pick up the pieces, find out what happened, and carry on. That's all you got to do. So anyway, y'all take care. Have a great weekend. Be kind to one another. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to Let's see, where is my, not that one, no. Thanks for watching. So that's the one. Appreciate you hanging out, and hopefully had a fun time. I don't know where my thoughts went right there, but we'll say goodbye for now. Everybody take care, and we'll see you next time.